Hopefully you can hear me now. I think you can. I see our volume is up. So thank you to Summer Schnabach who alerted me to the fact that my mic was down. And we're talking about our fall harvest here and how the weather is impacting it as we head through the season. So looking at conditions that are going to be on the windy side here this morning still, but not nearly as windy as yesterday. So, and the day before that too. So I just want to go back. I want to make sure we mention and thank our farmer who shared this awesome photo of the harvest with me. You can see that we are seeing just this beautiful double rainbow in the, well, he actually, Wayne, when he sent us this picture, Wayne Pritchard, thank you so much for sharing this. He didn't specify where he was, but basically out for the corn harvest, and we had some showers moving through on the weekend and Saturday, and this was the photo he took, a full rainbow, and then you can see the faint secondary rainbow there in the just to the outside of the primary rainbow. So really cool being able to see that double rainbow. So again, thank you for sharing your photos. We'd love to see more pictures from the harvest. I know we are right in the thick of it right now with corn, beans, and of course sugar beets being harvested right now as well. So if you're out and about and have a minute while you're waiting for the next round, well, we'd love to see what you're seeing out there as far as the wind is concerned. And we do, and also the weather, the rain that we may see coming up here is concerned too, which may have some impacts on your harvest this week. So let's now get into the wind that we are experiencing. You can see wind going on in this was from yesterday. Wind that gusted really high in northeastern North Dakota. We had some gusts into the 50s. Fargo peaked at 46. And similar wind gusts that we saw on Saturday as well. The interesting thing is that it lasted for so long. We had wind gusts going on starting early Saturday. We saw the wind start to pick up, continued all the way overnight and into the day on Sunday. And for some of us, it's still going. We still have some windy weather happening right now. So here's a look at our wind speeds. You can see that we are looking at breezy weather in several areas, but the higher gusts are happening in the north. Southern Valley, we've got some gusts into the 20s. Wind is either out of the northwest or west. And just zooming in a little bit more here, you can see we've got gusts of 36 in Langdon, Devil's Lake a gust to 30. Looks like we've got a gust to 33 in Grafton, Grand Forks 30, and still 30 in Badette and Roseau, and Waskish, one of our highest reports, with a gust of 37 miles per hour. So again, the wind field is affecting our northern valley areas more because the low that stirred up all the wind and the rain over the weekend, it's moving through Canada right now. So the low is farther north, so those places in the valley that are farther north are going to feel its impacts a little bit more until it finally kicks out of here. Here's a look at our current conditions. It's otherwise beautiful. We've got clear skies, a nice sunny day going on, and again, not as windy in the southern valley. So we're looking at 46 degrees right now in Fargo. It's 46 in Grand Forks. And again, you can see those steady winds, those sustained winds are out of the west or northwest here this morning. It's 45 in Fergus Falls and 43 in Bemidji. Some places did dip into the low to mid 30s this morning, so there's probably a little bit of frost in some areas in the south where we didn't have as much wind. But tonight is the night we'll be kind of watching out for that again here. So here's the current situation. We'll zoom out a little bit more so I can show you what we've got going on. So we'll take the full scope of this system. So, of course, here we are in the valley, nice and quiet, not much going on here. And then you can see kind of this swirl happening here. I only have this on a 1-hour loop, but there's a little bit of a swirl here. And that's where the heart of this wave is, where this low is. So it's still, kind of close to the valley. And so that big wind field around it's still impacting us. Gradually, the whole thing kicks off to the east. You can see where the front and the clouds and the rain associated with it are as that moves eastward as well. And check out Montana. Some snow in parts of the Rockies in Montana, and we saw some of that yesterday. We talked about it last week, the potential that some areas in North Dakota, but certainly in the region would get snow with this system. So I'm going to go back the last 48 hours and take a look at what we experienced here. So this is just going to keep looping on its own here, but you can see that big field of snow that continued to move to the northeast as we went over time into Sunday and now into Monday morning, and we're quieting down. We'll start this again back into Saturday. You can see we have these showers kind of developing during the day Saturday. Saturday night, overnight, and into Sunday, they really filled in. And we got some good rain, about an inch of rain in places in the valley overnight and into early Sunday. This is Sunday morning, rain starting to move on, and that's clearing out. We're watching the snow in northeastern Montana. Almost ran into the state line and decided, no, I don't want to snow in North Dakota, though there could have been some flakes. Another little round of rain that moved through Sunday night, and again, this cleared out. So this scenario here almost exactly played out the way our forecast model was showing on Friday. This is basically what we were forecasting for with this moving through that first round, the heavy rain Saturday night, of course the wind too, and then again the colder part of the system moving eastward with that colder air moving in behind it, and that transition to snow over by the Glasgow area, Plentywood, Montana, and then maybe a few flakes in that northwestern corner of North Dakota. But overall, it just missed us here in the state of North Dakota. Okay, so now let's move on with the forecast. Well, actually, sorry, let's step back here. This is the estimated rainfall associated with this over the weekend. You can see areas in bright green, that's where the radar is estimating about an inch or more. Certainly some pockets southeastern North Dakota into northwest Minnesota. Fargo here at the station, we got just under an inch of rain in South Fargo. I know there were some sites that did report more than an inch over into places like Clay County, up into Norman County in Minnesota. So again, good rain in some areas. Not everybody saw that much, and we didn't expect everyone to get that amount. Okay, so now let's move on. Today, beautiful day. It's just a bit breezy in the north still dealing with the wind there. And I'm just going to zip through our hour-by-hour planner here because there really isn't much to show here as we head into the afternoon. Moving on into this evening, here comes some clouds. That would be good if we could get some cloud cover overnight, but it may take its time, so that's going to have an impact on temperatures. You can see by the time we get into a little after daybreak tomorrow morning, we've got more clouds, especially up to about Highway 2, still more partly cloudy north of there, and some areas of rain trying to move into the valley already at that point on Tuesday. And that's going to kick off, that's going to start a more active period coming up here in the forecast. So this afternoon, temperatures cooler than we've been, in fact, cooler than average. We are looking at mid to upper 40s to around 50 over in the international border area to Highway 2-ish, and then low 50s to mid 50s in the south. And again, lots of sun going on, still with some breeze this afternoon, but not nearly as strong. Got to get that low kicked out of here first. And then overnight, the wind dies down. We are clear in the north, and so that combo we know can lead to plummeting temperatures. And so there is the potential for some chilly conditions tomorrow morning in the northern valley, where temperatures are more likely to be around freezing or even below. So we're going to be watching that area closely. Southern valley, with the clouds moving in there first, that may save us a little bit from dropping into that freezing range or frost range. But you can see even in Fargo, 36 is within frost range. So something to keep in mind for tonight. Want to protect those plants, protect those mums as we get into the nighttime hours here. But eventually the clouds do spread overhead, and the sooner that happens, the better. But we just can't guarantee that. That's going to be protecting us in the northern valley especially. So here's 7 a.m. on Tuesday. And there's our model data. Looking ahead to the 2 o'clock hour, you can see we've got some rain showers starting to move in. And that's a possibility as we head into the afternoon on Tuesday. We'll see that potential. But most of this system is going to stay more south of us, more into South Dakota, more into southern and central Minnesota. So it will have some impacts on our Southern Valley viewers. And you can see there's still some spotty areas where we have some isolated rain moving through tomorrow. More on the gloomy side with cloud cover. And then that clears away. We get a bit of a break. This is Wednesday morning, and then heading into Wednesday night, our next wave starts to come through. And you can see there's some rain over toward the western part of the Dakotas. And by the evening hours, we're starting to see some isolated areas, and overnight some isolated areas of rain. And then it becomes more substantial heading into Thursday. This is Thursday morning. You can see some areas of rain. And then we have to switch models to a longer range model here. So it is the resolution's a little lower. This is noon on Thursday, continuing on into Thursday evening. We're watching, some rounds of rain moving into the region, and that continues into at least early Friday. The wraparound with this one could once again bring a little bit of rain into Friday night and into Saturday as well. But overall, the potential's there each day that somewhere in the valley we'll see some rain. Might not be all day, especially on Wednesday. Wednesday will be pretty quiet in between rounds. But by the time we get into the end of the week, we all have a chance, work week I should say, this is through 7 p.m. on Friday, we all have a chance for some rain. Anywhere in blue, less than a half inch. Anywhere in green, we're looking at a half inch or more. And you can see and then anywhere in yellow is an inch. And you can see where that's more likely, central and western North Dakota. At least right now, the way these waves are tracking, looks like the heavier rain will be in that part of the state. But still, there's the potential to get a quick half inch or maybe even up to an inch in some locations. And that's going to be most likely Wednesday night and through Thursday. Thursday's going to kind of be the tougher day to be out, either for the harvest, doing yard work, that kind of thing, with the rain possibility. That could linger into Friday as well. So that's how it's looking this week. And it's looking cooler this week too. Today we're looking at a high of 55. And then through the work week, we've got temperatures that are going to be 50s to some 60s. Thursday, Friday may be our milder days, but so we're still, nowhere near as warm as we were. We're just right around average. Average high for today's date is 58, so we're within that range. And then breezy conditions again for Thursday with that next system moving through. That may linger into Friday and even Saturday as well. And then this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, going to feel a lot more like October. Temperatures into the 50s for the weekend. So any of your October plans, whether you're heading out to a corn maze, a haunted house, a pumpkin patch, heading out to a football game on Saturday, we are looking like, kind of classic October weather happening here for us this weekend. And then next week, that just continues as we're working our way through the latter half of the month. We are seeing temperatures that are going to be more into the 50s to near 60 on Monday especially, when we'll be a little quieter. And the possibility for rain will be there as well. So here we are, back into October. The weather is actually matching up with our averages for this calendar day. And we'll continue to kind of see that hold steady as we work our way through the next 11 days. And so be aware that today there's some wind in the north. That will start to come down. It's otherwise going to be quiet and probably our best day as far as getting some sunshine and some drier, quieter weather. And then as we progress through the week, off and on chances for some showers coming our way. And you could always track the latest radar right on the VNL weather app to stay up to date on what's happening now. And of course, there's a model there where you can see the future as well, not super far into the forecast, but still, one of our models goes out a little farther. And then we also do, of course, forecast updates and videos that are on the web too, so you can track it on that. Meanwhile, you could always come back to us right here at Valley News Now and on our newscast on Valley News Live. So hopefully you are enjoying the relatively quieter weather today. I know it's still breezy up in the north, but coming down from the super windy weekend that we had this weekend, and still beautiful out there with that sunshine. So happy Monday.